Hello, everyone. Welcome to another fun-filled, knee-slapping, ass-smacking episode of Vent This. I'm Chuck, and Chris is here somewhere. I'm not sure where she is, but I'm sure she'll show up at some point. Now, today, we have us another guest host. And if he's any good, we may keep him. He's a comedian. He's giggling behind the curtain. He's a comedian. You may have seen him, you may have heard him, or you may have no idea who the hell he is. But he's here with us today, and he's got a lot to vent about. So please welcome Jake Bassey.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Good to be here.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the show, Jake.
Nice.
So
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. You got my last name right. That's wonderful. Most people don't. My name's Jake Bassey. I'm an LA-based comedian. I've been doing stand-up for about 5 years. It's a life sentence. It is a prison, and I hear you can get in great shape when you're in prison. So
there's a benefit.
It's a lot of fun to do stand-up in LA. It's difficult to navigate as far as like trying to get famous and shit goes, because that's what everybody's here to do, right?
Yeah.
I produce my own shows because clubs won't book me, so I'll just do it my damn self. For those listening, if you can't see, there's a logo behind me. I've got the Jaking Off show. That's the name of my show. I came up with that name when I was 14 years old.
I love it.
33 now, and my creativity hasn't evolved much past that.
I'm grown up, Jake.
Yeah, I'm in my 30s and I'm still a child mentally.
It's a good way to go. I to go that way.
And shit.
Oh
yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of fun making jokes. I love making people laugh. It's a good time. I tried being in a band, that didn't work. I tried being an actor, that didn't work. So I'm gonna make giggles, and hopefully that works.
Well,
so far so good.
Try doing a podcast and hope this works.
Yeah, I did that too. I did a podcast as well.
That's right. So and well, now you're here with us. So let's see. We'll make this work. And Chrissy, I think you're reading the first vent, right?
I sure am, Chuck. All right, so here it goes. Our first vent of the day. Guys, this is so creepy. So I live in Los Angeles, and the other day I was hanging out on a street waiting for my buddies to show up. All of a sudden, this robot food delivery thing shows up, and it scared the crap out of me. It literally stopped in front of me, and I thought this thing was checking me out, and it has these crazy eyes that look like an alien. I'm thinking it's going to suck me in and no one will ever find me. When the hell did these things arrive? And are we sure they aren't spies? And that's signed by Robot Delivery.
Wow. Well, I mean, this is the new world we live in. I don't know why it scares him. It doesn't scare me.
I've never seen one.
It should scare us, though. The robots are taking our jobs.
Well,
seriously,
that's true. But it's also created another automated job, because being that this scared the crap out of the guy, now the automated street cleaner comes by to clean up the crap.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Everything's automated.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about the McDonald's in Dallas that's fully automated and not a single human works in there?
Oh, no.
It's coming. The robot delivery guys, that's just the surface. That's just the tip of the iceberg, with AI jobs and all that taking away everything. I mean, the guy shouldn't be scared over the presence of the robot. He should be scared over what the robot's going to do. Not physically, but it's gonna make the economy crumble, because robots, they're taking away jobs. They don't have feelings. The upside is, though, you could be mean to the robots.
That's true.
You open the door for the guy delivering the pizza, and he's a hero because he has pizza. No one's upset to see him.
Right.
See the robot, and you could just treat it like garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kick it.
And when you have a complaint, the robot's not going to care. Oh, wait, but the people do that anyway. The real people.
Yeah, yeah. And depending on the job, sometimes real people don't care either.
Yeah.
I work a day job.
I just say you kind of have to embrace it all because I mean, this is the way we're going, whether we like it or not. Until it's a big failure. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when you used to go to a gas station and pump your own gas, and then that all became where, you pump. You pump your own. I'm sorry. Did I say that backwards? Where
Yeah.
where
You did.
they
It
used to
was
pump the gas for you.
Yeah, usually there's a guy there, there's an attendant there that does the gas, but we're getting lazier and lazier and lazier because Lord Bezos could have anything delivered to your door in 15 minutes.
Exactly.
It's just making us lazier.
Yes.
And I think the pandemic might have made us soft because that delivery job could have gone to a 20-year-old kid that's going to college, but no, it's going to go to a robot. So the human jobs are going to be to fix the robots when they break
Yeah.
and and general maintenance. That's where the human jobs are going to go. Because
Right.
what if the robot breaks?
Yeah.
Sure.
You
But
know?
in time, they'll have a robot for that.
Yeah, they'll have
Yeah.
a robot to fix the other robots. Yeah, it's amazing.
Exactly. It'll be the new population of the world, and we'll all just be laying around. We'll be the ants and the roaches.
Yeah, and then there will be robosexual marriage. We'll start marrying the robots, dude.
Oh
my God.
Talk
Yeah.
about high tech.
Yeah, no diddy. We'll just start marrying the robots.
Wow. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, this is. I mean, I don't think it's anything to be scared of, but it is something to be concerned. I mean, I wouldn't have the crap scared out of me because I saw this robot. But
Wait, have you ever seen one? I've never seen one.
Yeah, there's these
Have
little
you guys?
TV carts that has a little flag on it. Just walk around Hollywood. They're
Yeah.
everywhere.
yeah, they're
Oh, really?
everywhere.
But
yeah,
some have eyes on them.
Yeah,
They're
they
like-
get little eyes on them.
yeah. Some of them
And
just
so-
look like an igloo cooler going down the street by itself.
Right. But
Yeah.
how does it work? So I call up seriously, I don't know how you call up a restaurant. You say, I want this delivered. They call the Uber Eats people who own the robot and it's sent to you. Is that how it works?
Basically.
Oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And more common, I'm thinking, in the urban areas than the suburbs. Is 'cause
I've
it's
seen
too
them in
spread out.
Hollywood. I've
Right.
seen them in like the Hollywood area. I haven't really seen them anywhere else.
Right.
And
Can
like,
you hijack
what
one?
if there's a pothole? What if there's a homeless guy overdosing on fentanyl
Yeah.
in the robot's way? Like, does it know to get out of the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's been stories. I can't remember because I just don't remember a lot of stuff. But I think there's been stories done on that where it'll run into certain things it doesn't see or doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know how to react like a human being.
Yeah, it'll correct.
common
Some people
sense
try to
can think.
steal whatever's in the robot's what's
Yeah. How
inside the robot.
how do you open it?
There's got to be like a code or
Yeah.
something. Got to be
Yeah.
something that you'd scan on your phone.
That's what I would think. A
I'm
QR
on your
code to
level with
just
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
QR code. You blip just like if you pay for parking, in advance, and then you go to the parking garage and you just put your phone up to the scanner and the gate opens.
You know what I would
do?
do? I would stand in front of it. Like, what's it going to do? Is it going to stop? Like,
Yeah.
is there a standoff? Like, does it not deliver? Like, try to play some prank on the robot. Like,
There's a person
stand.
that wants to tip the robot over and take the food.
Yeah, tip it over.
Yeah,
Or try to steal it. Put
Yeah,
it in your
yeah.
back. I have no idea, but
And like,
That'd
does
be kinda
someone
funny.
go get it if it like falls off a cliff or something?
I know, what do you do?
Yeah. Run it over with a car. Somebody,
Yeah.
they'll be nuts. There's nuts out there.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
So, or get a free
what's the
ride.
robot
Jump
gonna
on
do,
and
Sue?
yeah, jump on it.
yeah. If you're tired of walking, just jump on the robot and it'll take you to where you're going.
Yeah.
I think they're great. Then I see a future in these
It's
robots.
crazy. I mean, just like the rental scooters that we saw and the rental
Yeah.
bikes, and it's like
Oh, I
just
hate
part of
those.
progress.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And they're like litter. They're high tech litter just all over the sidewalks in Hollywood.
Have you
Yeah,
ever
they're
tried those
everywhere.
scooters?
Never.
Oh my God. You can go so fast. I almost killed myself on one. I stopped. Those things are insane. Where
Well,
you
maybe
can just,
that'll fix the population issue. Maybe dummies will ride those things and
That's
an
right.
accident or
they'll
something.
put a robot on it.
Yeah,
we,
for real.
we won't have a lot of food shortages and all that stuff because
Yeah, that's one way to conserve food. We could just start, purging.
yeah.
Well, did
Oh.
we?
No, we didn't.
I know.
But we had a good time talking about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
We didn't solve it, but I just laugh at it. Just
Yeah.
embrace it and have a good time. We're only on this earth for 100 years.
Yeah, a lot of companies are going to do it because minimum wage went up. So, these big wig CEOs are going to try and cut costs by, by doing automation. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
sure,
problem.
$20 an hour sounds great, but then your job's just going to be taken away.
Yeah.
And you have to maintain these robots, and you have to repair these robots. And I don't know, is it going to be cost effective? I guess when you get into health benefits and all that stuff, vacation pay, maybe so, but I don't know.
They're not going to ask for time off.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Nobody's going to call in sick. Well,
there's no labor laws on a robot.
They're not going to ask for a raise.
Hours.
Yeah.
Yep. And all the CEOs will be making billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, people are laying around wondering what they're going to do with their lives.
Yeah. Plot twist: the CEOs are also robots.
Yeah. Oh, that would be nice,
really.
huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, anyway, all right. Well,
brother.
What the heck?
Well, should we
Get to vent number 2?
Go to vent number 2.
Yeah, go to vent number 2.
Okay, so this is kind of a weird vent, but here we go. I'm quoting this guy. Here it is. This is going to sound weird, but my girlfriend has a pet goat that lives in her house with her. Weird, right? He writes that. But damn, that thing knows when we are going at it, and it'll come into the room. Oh my God. Talk about a mood kill. This pet can unlock doors and it goes into every room we go into, and it's fucking weird. I think this goat is jealous of me, like some dogs are jealous of people getting close to their owners. I told my girlfriend to keep it outside, but she thinks that's cruel. Any suggestions?
Go, Jake. What do you think?
Okay. So I've hooked up with many women that have pets, cats, dogs, fish, hamsters, never a goat. And the fact that the goat knows how to like open a door and walk into every house, that is a huge red flag. Like, this guy needs to dump this girl. Like, for real. Like, why the goat? That's a farm animal. You know what I mean? Like, that I can't even imagine the smells. I mean, goats don't smell bad, but I don't want the smell of a barn entering the room when I'm trying to have sex with my girlfriend. He's got to like dump her or figure it out or something.
But I think goats are generally clean animals, so maybe this isn't a problem, just like the pet pigs.
Yeah, but it's just that smell of a barn. Like, the goat goes outside, right? So it sleeps. It comes and goes as it pleases. But wherever it is, the smell of the goat comes in, and that that is a total mood killer. This poor guy. I mean, this has got to be like in the middle of the woods somewhere, because I've seen goat yoga. There's people that have yoga studios that do yoga with goats.
Yeah.
Oh, they walk on your back?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably one of those granola ladies that like walks around with dirty feet and stuff and has like dreadlocks or something, and she's like a member of PETA or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. The goat thing. And also the goat's a cuck. Like, the goat wants to watch.
I mean, why? And I say, why be cruel? Let the goat watch. I mean,
oh
it'd be
God,
fun. I'm into new experiences. I mean, really, how bad could it be?
Oh God, Chuck, really?
I don't know, like, their eyes are just menacing, and people associate goats with like Satan and all that. Is it sitting in the corner with like the horns and all that? That's scary.
Well,
it's like,
yeah, they are horny animals. That's why they want to watch.
Very much so.
Oh God. I think they're cute.
They like to ram things. Yeah, the goat wants to join, dude.
Well, do all goats do they have horns? My neighbor has goats. It doesn't have horns.
How do you think they get through traffic?
Oh God, Chuck.
What?
Chuck's auditioning with his bad jokes. No, seriously, do they all have horns?
Male goats have bigger horns, and I believe some folks shave them down to like keep them maintained, because like they'll curl, like some goats or rams or whatever, they'll curl back up into its own eye, and they'll like gouge themselves out.
Wow.
So there's probably a method to maintain that. But just the idea, like the goat, it says that it can unlock doors and go into every room. That's it feels like one of those skinwalker like cryptid stories. I don't know if you guys know about the skinwalkers, but
No.
it's like an urban legend where a demonic creature would take the form of a person or an animal and tries to like imitate, and like blend in to the environment. And just if a goat walked into a room while I'm trying to go to Pound Town, that would just kill it instantly. I would, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
Way to
it's
go to Pound Town. Well, there's a term I've never heard.
yeah.
Wow.
This would make sense if this was on a farm in Oklahoma, but this
yeah.
it
Well,
sounds, this is
we
a
don't know though. She could be on a farm or she has a lot of property. You never know.
She could be in
crushingly
Hollywood,
large
California.
property with exotic animals.
Yeah. I mean, she may be right in Hollywood, California. You don't know.
Yeah, it's
We don't know.
possible.
We have no way of knowing where these vents come from.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Well-
true. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's weird that it's so familiar with the house. It comes in and locks doors. I find that weird. But at the same time, they're so freaking cute when they're little and they hop around and they're so loyal. They jump on your lap and they want you to pet them.
Teach
And
them
I
to
think,
clean the house.
yeah,
They could be, instead of like one of those little Roombas to clean the house, little vacuum cleaner, you get the goat to clean the house while he's in there.
Well, goats eat grass. They could definitely be lawn service.
Yeah, there
that's
you go.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goat probably wants to go muff diving. Oh,
Oh my God.
probably wants to clean that lawn. You know what I mean?
Oh God. Okay. Is it time to move on?
Wow. Wow. I guess this could go bad.
I just
All
made
right.
Chris tingle with fear.
Yes.
All right, so we got a third vent, right?
Yeah, we do, thankfully. Here we go. It's our third vent. Hey, I heard you're having comedians on Vent This. So can you ask them why they let people in the audience chime in during a set? I don't want to hear an audience person, just the comedian. It throws me out of the moment. What do the comedians have to say about this?
Okay. All right. I gotta crack my knuckles for this one.
This is your world, Jake.
All right. So first off, at the top of this statement, it says why they let people in the audience chime in. We're not letting them chime in. It goes back to theater. In theater, you don't heckle, you don't interrupt the show. It's highly frowned upon in theater. Stand-up comedy is a live performance on a stage. It's not theater, but it doesn't get the same respect. And because of crowd work clips, and this is all depending on who you ask, this is just my opinion, because crowd work clips are all over Instagram and all over social media, and these top-notch comics like Matt Rife, just to name one, has made it a staple to include crowd work and audience participation.
Oh, wow.
It's not participation. It's the comic is being interrupted, and the flow state of the set is being interrupted. But we have to keep it professional and we have to keep it funny. So a true professional comedian will find a way to work around it and use improv to sort of get out of the situation. Some people will shut it down. For example, if someone heckles me, I'll say something like, "Hey, ma'am, take the dick out of your mouth and then speak." And then she'll either shut up or she'll just keep going. And then, things like that happen. And heckling it's generally not good, but it is fun and organic because it's a way to divert away from it. But it's complicated because people can get irate, and because of the crowd work clips, people think, oh, I can interrupt the show. Oh, I can improve the show. No, you're making it worse. And
Yeah.
there's comics that, like, for example, I saw Matt Rife at the Comedy Store a couple months ago, and he's known as the crowd work guy, but he's actually up there trying to like do jokes. And I saw him getting kind of a little frustrated that he was trying to do these jokes that he wanted to work on, and people kept cutting him off, saying like, "Hey, I had a bad dream. Can you talk about?" Like, it's like, what are you doing?
Oh, they're just like changing subject. It's not
Changing
even
subjects.
Wow.
A lot of times a comedian will ask a question, and 95% of the time it's a rhetorical question.
Mhm.
And if people have a couple of drinks in them and they're just like, unless it's a direct question, there's like a line, if a comic's like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" that's a crowd work opener. That is when it is okay to go like, oh, you're sitting in the splash zone. Chuck, you're sitting in the front row at Flappers, and the host of the show is like, oh, hi, sir, how you doing? What do you do for work? Are you with a date or whatever? And you can participate if you want. And then there's the people that are sitting in the back. They're like, well, what about me? And it's like, bro, it's not about you. You're not gonna go viral. You're not gonna get famous because you're interrupting a show. In fact, you'll get kicked out if you do that shit. I don't like it. I am not a fan of hecklers at all.
But when comedians
I agree
do
with
that,
this.
when comedians do that, when they include the audience, are they lost? Are they just trying to like stretch their act, or what's going on there?
Sometimes it can be very useful. So, if there's a heckler, it can eat up some of the time because there's rare occasions where there's another comic that's late, or like a host will fill that time by using crowd work, by using improv, and sometimes we're tired of telling the same joke over and over again.
Sure.
And I'll do a joke that I've been doing for years, and even though it's funny to everybody else, I hate it. So I will do something like improvised or crowd work, or there's a lot of couples in the audience, and I'll riff off of that. One of my go-tos is there's a lot of couples out here. I'm reading that polyamory's in, and I have a whole thing on that, and you could spend like 3 to 4 minutes or however long, trying to fill those gaps. Cause a lot of times headliners will a headliner will have 30 minutes of material, and then the other half will be crowd work. And that's used for clips and stuff. So the formula of stand-up has changed, and it's encouraged more heckling, which again, it depends who you ask about it.
Question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why can't the manager or whoever's like the host of that, comedy club say, everybody, we're so happy you're here, but please don't interrupt the comic. He's got a set going. I mean, can't they do that?
I think people are just in general getting more rude no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Even in the theater.
That's done as a PSA at the top of the show. I've done a lot of shows at a lot of clubs, and a lot of the time, right before the show starts, to be like, oh, welcome to, the Chuckle Hut. There's no heckling. That's a 2-item minimum. The bathroom's over there. There's a thing at the top. And some people just don't give a fuck, and they want to interrupt, and the comedy is not respected because that doesn't happen when you're watching a movie. That doesn't happen when you're watching the opera. It doesn't happen in all these other formats of entertainment, but stand-up just seems to be the thing.
Part of the problem, Jake, is there's alcohol. And so you go to the theater, you go to the opera, whatever, there's no alcohol, right? And you're just sitting there drinking, having, fish and chips, whatever.
Well, there's alcohol at the theater. I mean, there's a bar at the theater.
Yeah, but you're not just...
You're not
in
a
different class of people, I think, too. It's a different class of people going to the theater than a comedy club a lot of times.
Yeah.
Right, but at a comedy club, you're sitting there, you're ordering drinks nonstop. At a theater, you can go up and get a drink or two. You come back and sit down for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You kind of get a break. I don't know. I just think that might...
It's a societal thing, too. People that go to the theater are a little bit more uppity. They're a little bit more distinguished.
Yeah, that's what Chuck's saying.
Right.
Chronicles and shit. Comedy clubs are more for the decrepit. And
okay,
you get all walks of life, especially
the decrepit. Really, I mean, the older people or that go to comedy clubs.
Older folks, younger folks, doesn't even matter. And some, it's not even clubs. Like there's cases where other comics will heckle each other at open mics to work the muscle.
Yeah.
So if you get heckled, what do you do? So like I've done open mics where they are specifically targeted as heckle mics, and they're used as an exercise on, what can you do to solve the problem that's the heckler.
Yeah.
So I've done heckle mics where someone's just like, you're balding and yet you have bangs, like,
So it's comedic therapy is basically what that is then, really.
Yes.
I mean, you're helping each other out.
100%. Yeah. And there's not enough that do that because there's open mics that don't have a theme, and heckle mics, there's a few, there's not a lot of them, but those are great places to work that muscle because it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
in your comedy career. You will get heckled. Someone will say something, or someone will go, "Oh, I'm triggered. Oh, I'm offended," or whatever. And you have to be able to have a quick response for that, so you
Yeah.
can keep the show going.
Shut them
And
down.
nobody knows that there's an issue. And sometimes there's hecklers that are plants. Sometimes
Yeah.
they're there on
I can
purpose.
see that.
Planted
Yeah.
by who?
The
Planted
comedian.
by the talent.
Oh, by the other. By the
By the
actual person on
comedian.
Yeah,
stage,
sometimes
not other
there's plants.
comedians.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
because of the sort of riffing and organic nature of it, that's in the algorithm now.
Mhm.
It used to be, you can't just be funny anymore, Chuck. You can't be
Yeah.
like you have to have clips. You have to have all of these things that aren't even material, and 90% of those things is somebody heckling you. And then it goes up on the internet, and it can help, or it can, go horribly wrong. It depends on how the comic handles it. It's just a new. The comedy is evolving.
So the internet
That's where
has
it's going
changed things
towards.
because you're saying that you have clips. So if people have clips, so I'm going to go to a comedy club. Okay, I'm going to go see Jake Bassey, and I look at him on the internet and I see how his act is, and now I'm all prepared to go fuck with him because
Yeah.
I kind of know half of his act, and so I'm prepared for that. So when you try to a while back you were talking about pulling the audience into it, it's like you're recreating a new way to say an old joke is what you're doing, trying to break
Yes.
that boredom. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. It's never, it's never said the same way twice.
Yeah.
It's always different. It's never, there's a certain amount of like script that goes into an act, and it depends on so many, because it's chaos. It's complete chaos, and some people really enjoy chaos. I do. I do to a degree, but
Yeah.
if I'm on the receiving end of it, it's harder to navigate, because now I have to deal with the stress of keeping the show going.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got to
Or as
control.
an audience member, it's like, oh, he's struggling up there.
Yeah. Yeah. And they love it, but you've got to control the chaos.
Yeah,
So
you have to be able to control it. That's what makes a good showman,
some of
or
them
woman,
invite
that
that.
makes a
Yeah.
good show person.
Some comedians
yeah.
invite that kind of stuff. I was at a club, this is years ago, but the Comedy Magic Club down in Hermosa. Is it Hermosa or Redondo? It is. I think
Yeah, I
it's
think it's in
Hermosa, right?
Hermosa.
Yeah. And I was sitting at a table, and I was with a date and another couple, and I wanted to sit up front because I used to like to just sit right at the front tables, just to be right there, feel the action, as opposed to being in the back of the room. We were in the back of the room, and I asked the waitress or hostess or whatever if we could move up front. She said once the first comic comes up, it's fine to go ahead and move up front, and so the first comic came out, he's talking for 30 seconds or a minute or whatever, and I looked over at the girl, and I kind of motioned, can we move up front? She said, yeah, go ahead. So the four of us got up and we went over, and this guy was the first act up, so he was probably the lesser lesser seniority, lesser experience.
The warm-up guy.
Yeah, the warm-up. Yeah, he wasn't the host. The what do you call the
Oh, that's the cold opener.
Yeah. So he was the first one up. So anyway, so we went to get up to the tables that are right up against the stage, and in the middle of his act, he just looked down at us and he goes, "Where are you people from?" And I just went from that table back there. I got the biggest laugh of his act. I felt bad for the guy, but I got the big laugh.
Yeah, sometimes that happens, and
Yeah.
you're kind of, when that happens, I'm sure you didn't do it on purpose, but it pulls rank, so it actually forces the comic to bring out the A-list stuff. He's like, oh shit, this random guy got a bigger laugh than my first two jokes. I have
suck.
to work harder now. Yes, it
Good.
does suck.
I pumped up his act.
Work harder. And there's some comics, Chuck, that are lazy, that they'll get there's like headliners that will get an opener that sucks. So the headliner will come off better. I think that's a very interesting challenge, that you've got natural wit, I gather. And you're like, oh, I came from back there, and it gets a huge laugh.
Yeah.
So, you're encroaching into the comics world. You're like, oh, this guy's got jokes. Okay. So it's actually kind of good to bounce off of someone, but he's asking you a direct question. That's not you heckling.
Yeah, I didn't heckle. Yeah. He invited me into the show, and I became part of the show.
So some people some audience members are very drunk and autistic and they can't pick up on the social cues. Like sometimes there's a direct question and sometimes it's a fucking rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Like we're not like, oh, what's with airline peanuts? You're not going to respond to that. Like
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Just shut up.
like, yeah, what about it? Like it's just
Yeah.
Order another drink and leave me alone.
right. Yeah.
Anyway,
And sometimes it's the opposite reaction because when there's a venue that doesn't have alcohol but they have weed, there's a lot of 420 friendly
boy.
places and where people get stoned and they get so stoned they don't fucking say anything. They don't even laugh. They're just so gone. They're just-
oh my God. So is that
Yeah,
becoming very common to have places that have weed instead of
well, in California, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. There's a lot of places. There's actually an open mic that I go to frequently called the Higher Mic. We're shouting out to the Higher Mic. It's an open mic where you you pay $5, do 5 minutes, and it's 420 friendly. You can smoke weed in there, and sometimes it's difficult to gauge if the joke is good because sometimes people are just so high they're just not paying attention.
Yeah, they can't pay attention
in their own world. Yeah.
So,
Well,
now,
what
is
about
it-
you?
Is it weed? Is it weed plus drinks, or is it like weed only places?
Just weed. Just
Wow.
weed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Chuck's like, where's this place?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's off of it's on Ventura and Hazeltine. It's across the street from the rich people Ralph's. And it's a
Oh
good
yeah,
spot.
yeah. I know
Yeah,
right
it's a
where
very
it
good
is.
spot.
On the south side of Ventura Boulevard.
Wow.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
it's a great spot.
God, that
Love
place has been there for years.
Yeah, it's called the venue is called the Higher Path, but the mic is
Okay.
called Higher Mic, and it's a good time. It's such a
Yeah.
good time.
Wow.
Great place to work out. I love that place.
I got stuck
that's
on
great.
Chuck saying he brought a date. Did your date? I'm impressed with your
Well,
swag.
it was my goat.
It was your
Okay,
goat.
and now it's time to wrap it up.
You brought the goat.
Chuck,
goat's
no wait,
calling.
Chuck is the goat.
I am the goat.
That's
So-
right.
All right. Well, I guess I guess it's about time to wrap this episode of Vent This Up, huh? What do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
So,
Yeah, it was great.
Jake, Jake, it's been great with you being with us. And before we go, do you have anything you want to plug? I mean, like where you're appearing soon, or have you written a book, or do you have a movie coming out or anything?
I went to public school. I'm not smart enough to write a book. I do. As I am a comedian. I'm based in LA. I'm actually looking for more road gigs, but I got a couple of things that I've announced. I have a show called the Jaking Off Show. That is a monthly show at the Good Night in North Hollywood. That is every second Sunday of the month.
Oh.
Host a show, and I get a gaggle of funny people that vibe with me, and we have a really good time. I'm also doing a heavy metal themed comedy show on May 2nd called Hell Bent for Laughter. That is a direct parody from Judas Priest's Hell Bent for Leather. That's going to be fun. That's featuring Dean Del Rey, I am super honored to have on that show. And May 12th, I have another Jaking Off show, but that one's going to be a little different. That one's going to be comedy and karaoke. It's going to
cool.
it's going to be called Emo Night. It's that show is called Riff 182.
That's
Off of
great.
Blink 182.
Wow.
Well, Jake,
wow.
keep us posted because Chuck and I will definitely come and visit.
Yeah,
For
so
sure.
people-
And I hosted shows at Flappers every week, but I have, and this is no slight against them. I stopped doing shows there every week, but that's because I want to grow as a comic, and I want to go to greener pastures. But I'll go back there sometime soon. But right now, I'm just producing my own shows, and I've got I'll do bar shows around town here and there. But it's fun.
Yeah,
It's
so
a lot of
people
fun.
can follow you on Instagram, and
All that stuff's on Instagram. You can
Bassy,
follow
yeah.
me at
Cool.
El Bassy. It's all there. There's
Yeah.
little skits. There's little sets. They're mostly posters
Yeah.
of shows that I'm doing.
This is
Cool.
great. This has been fun. So, okay, well, Jake, it was great. We'll see you again, and we'll see you out there in the field.
Yeah, I'm
as
out
they
there,
say.
man. It's
So-
it's the trenches. It's warfare.
Yeah, there you go. And we'd like our listeners to go to our Instagram account and follow us also. That's how we know that you're out there and you're listening.
What's
we
it called, Chucky?
What's what
The
called?
Instagram?
It's called Vent This Podcast.
Mhm.
Vent
Cool.
This Podcast, yes, and yeah, follow us, and we'll know you're there. And we're now on YouTube, and soon we're going to be doing our podcasts with video, and it's all very exciting. And there's a lot a lot happening here. And don't forget to go to our website at ventthis.org and write us a vent. You can write right on the website. We'll read your vent right on the podcast, or you can leave us a voicemail by calling 818-570-2535. That number again is 818-570-2535. We'll play your vent on an upcoming episode. So go out there, smile at people. It'll freak them out.
Okay, bye.
That's so fun. Oh my God, that's the best. I'm going to start using that. That's great. Smile, it'll freak them out.
Yeah,
oh
it
man,
freaks them out.